There is a moment in every life when the world leans in closer. Not to help you, not to understand you, but to test you. It happens quietly, a dismissive tone, a subtle insult disguised as a joke, a request that crosses a boundary just to see if you'll allow it. This is not coincidence. This is human nature. Machiavelli warned of this centuries ago. Men are driven by self-interest, and they test power wherever they sense weakness. The mistake most people make is responding emotionally. They defend, they explain, they overreact, and in doing so, they fail the test. Because when people test your weakness, they are not looking for words. They are measuring your presence, your control, your authority. In this documentary, you will learn Machiavelli's darkest lesson: what to do the moment someone probes your limits, questions your value, or senses hesitation. This knowledge will not make you kind. It will not make you liked, but it will make you untouchable. The core problem: why people test you. Before power is taken, it is tested. Every social environment operates on an unspoken hierarchy. Workplaces, families, friend groups, relationships. People do not ask, who is powerful? They ask, who allows things? Carl Jung observed, the shadow is what we fear in ourselves, and what we search for in others. When someone tests you, they are projecting their own ambition, insecurity, or hunger for dominance. They are not attacking you personally. They are conducting an experiment. And every experiment seeks data. Your reaction is the data. Lesson 1. Weakness is not what you think it is. Most people believe weakness means fear, shyness, or lack of skill. Machiavelli knew better. Weakness is uncontrolled reaction. The moment you rush to explain yourself, you signal uncertainty. The moment you defend unprovoked, you reveal doubt. The moment you raise your voice, you expose loss of control. Robert Greene writes, the insecure are the most dangerous, because they reveal their weaknesses unconsciously. Those who test you are watching for emotional leakage, a twitch, a justification, a need for validation. Strength is not aggression. Strength is restraint, effective affirmation. I do not rush to be understood. My silence is deliberate. My control is visible. Lesson 2. The first test is always small. Power is never challenged directly at first. It begins with trivial disrespect. A colleague interrupts you repeatedly. A friend makes a subtle joke at your expense. Partner ignores a boundary once, just once. These are not accidents. They are probes. Machiavelli wrote, injuries should be inflicted all at once. Benefits granted little by little. Those who seek dominance reverse this principle. They apply small injuries gradually, watching to see if resistance appears. If it doesn't, escalation follows. The tragedy is not the test itself. The tragedy is ignoring it. Effective affirmation. I recognize the first sign of disrespect. I address it before it grows. Lesson 3. Never respond at the level of the test. When someone tests your weakness, they expect a predictable reaction. Defensiveness, anger, submission. Do not give them any. Instead, you respond one level above. If they mock, you remain calm. If they provoke, you slow down. If they push, you pause. This creates psychological dissonance. They expected control. They received mystery. Jung called this withholding psychic energy. When you do not release emotional fuel, the aggressor becomes unsettled. Silence, when used consciously, is dominance. Not passive silence. Strategic silence. Effective affirmation. I do not meet chaos with chaos. I respond from higher ground. Lesson 4. Explanations are admissions of inferiority. Nothing weakens authority faster than over-explaining. When you justify your decisions excessively, you imply that approval is required. Machiavelli warned rulers against this exact behavior. Power does not ask permission to exist. When tested, speak less, not more. Short statements. Clear boundaries. No emotional cushioning. Let's keep this professional. That won't work for me. We're done here. Each sentence is a closed door. Effective affirmation. My words are few because my authority is assumed. Lesson 5. Calm is more threatening than anger. Anger is familiar. Calm is unsettling. When someone attempts to provoke you and fails, they experience loss of control. And humans fear what they cannot influence. Robert Greene notes, "The greatest intimidation comes from the absence of reaction. Your stillness forces them to confront themselves. Their insecurity becomes loud. Their intentions become obvious. You are no longer reacting. You are observing." Effective affirmation. My calm unsettles those who seek dominance over me. Lesson 6. Once you pass the test, respect solidifies. Here is the paradox Machiavelli understood. People respect boundaries more than kindness. They admire control more than warmth. When you pass the first test, calmly, firmly, without emotional leakage, future tests become rare, not because they like you, but because you are no longer an easy experiment. Power is conserved where resistance exists. Effective affirmation. I train others how to treat me through disciplined response. Lesson 7. Those who test you reveal themselves. Every test exposes the tester. Their ambition, their insecurity, their hunger for control. Do not rush to confront them aggressively. Information is more valuable than reaction. Machiavelli believed knowledge of human nature was the ruler's sharpest weapon. When you remain composed, you gain insight. And insight is leverage. Effective affirmation. I learn from those who challenge me. Knowledge sharpens my power. Transition. In the next lessons, we will explore what happens after the test. How to establish psychological dominance without conflict. How to reverse power dynamics silently. And how to ensure you are never targeted again. Because the darkest lesson is not about confrontation. Lesson 8. Power is established after the test, not during it. Most people believe the moment of testing is where power is decided. Machiavelli knew that was only the opening move. The real shift happens after you pass the test. When someone challenges you and meets calm resistance, their mind enters recalibration mode. They reassess who you are. They rewrite your position in their internal hierarchy. Your task is not to dominate immediately. Your task is to remain consistent. Power is not proven once. It is proven through repetition. Every future interaction must reflect the same boundaries, the same emotional control, the same unshakable presence. Effective affirmation. I am consistent. My authority does not fluctuate. Lesson 9. Delay is a weapon the impatient do not understand. One of Machiavelli's most misunderstood principles is timing. Not everything must be answered immediately. Not every challenge deserves instant response. When you delay strategically, you force the other person to sit with uncertainty. And uncertainty creates anxiety. A message left unanswered. A meeting postponed without explanation. A neutral acknowledgement instead of reassurance. Robert Greene calls this temporal dominance. Control over time is control over people. Those who rush reveal need. Those who wait command space. Effective affirmation. I choose when to respond. Time bends to my discipline. Lesson 10. Emotional control is a silent threat. People are not intimidated by strength alone. They are intimidated by predictable strength combined with emotional silence. When someone realizes they cannot provoke you, manipulate you, or extract emotional reactions, they lose leverage. Carl Jung warned, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate." Your emotional control makes others conscious of their own lack of it. They see themselves exposed. And exposure breeds caution. Effective affirmation. My emotions are mastered. I am never easy to read. Lesson 11. Do not seek justice, seek position. This lesson separates the powerful from the resentful. When people test your weakness, the instinct is to seek fairness, to correct behavior, to demand respect openly. Machiavelli would call this naive. Power is not about justice. It is about position. Instead of asking, "Was that fair?" ask, "Did that shift my position up or down?" If down, correct it calmly. If up, say nothing. Justice satisfies emotion. Position secures survival. Effective affirmation. I prioritize position over emotional validation. Lesson 12. Scarcity amplifies authority. Availability weakens perceived value. When you are always accessible, always accommodating, always responsive, you become predictable. And predictability invites testing. Limit access to your time. Reduce unnecessary explanations. Exit conversations early. Not dramatically, not arrogantly, but deliberately. Machiavelli understood rulers must remain partially distant to remain respected. Familiarity dissolves fear. Distance restores it. Effective affirmation. My time is limited. My presence is earned. Lesson 13. Never reveal that you noticed the test. This is one of the darkest, most counterintuitive lessons. When someone tests your weakness and you pass, never acknowledge the test explicitly. Do not say, I noticed what you were doing. Do not confront unless escalation is required. Why? Because awareness without reaction unsettles the aggressor more than exposure. They know you saw it. They know you chose not to react. This creates psychological imbalance. They are now cautious. You are now unpredictable. Effective affirmation. I see everything. I reveal nothing. Lesson 14. The goal is not fear, it is reluctance. True power does not make people afraid. It makes them reluctant. Reluctant to challenge you. Reluctant to disrespect you. Reluctant to waste energy testing you again. Machiavelli warned that fear without respect leads to rebellion. But calm authority breeds compliance. When people hesitate before crossing you, you have won. Not loudly, not visibly, but permanently. Effective affirmation. Others hesitate before challenging me. My presence commands pause. Lesson 15. Power is maintained through inner alignment. All external dominance begins internally. If you secretly fear being disliked, you will overcompensate. If you crave approval, you will tolerate disrespect. If you doubt your worth, others will sense it. Machiavelli did not advocate cruelty for its own sake. He advocated self-command. When your inner world is ordered, the outer world follows. You do not need to intimidate. You do not need to threaten. Your alignment speaks before you do. Effective affirmation. I am aligned internally. My presence enforces respect. Transition. Now you understand what happens after the test. But there is one final layer. The long-term strategy that ensures you are rarely tested at all. The mindset that transforms you from a target into a fixed point others move around. Lesson 16. Predictability is the enemy of authority. Once people understand how you react, they stop respecting you, even if the reaction is strong. Machiavelli feared predictability more than weakness. A ruler who is always merciful becomes exploitable. A ruler who is always harsh becomes hated. The dangerous individual is selectively unpredictable. Sometimes you respond quickly. Sometimes you do not respond at all. Sometimes you engage. Sometimes you withdraw. Not emotionally, strategically. This unpredictability keeps others mentally off balance. They stop testing because the outcome is unclear. Effective affirmation. My responses are strategic, not habitual. Lesson 17. Let others defend you. One of the highest indicators of power is not self-defense. It is outsourced defense. When people test you and see others step in, colleagues, allies, observers, your position solidifies instantly. This is why Machiavelli emphasized alliances over lone strength. Do not rush to correct disrespect publicly. Let silence invite witnesses. Let patterns reveal themselves. Over time, others enforce your boundaries for you. Effective affirmation. My position invites protection without request. Lesson 18. Withdraw energy from those who test you. Attention is currency. When someone tests your weakness, they are seeking engagement, positive or negative. Do not reward them with either. After the test, reduce availability. Shorten responses. Redirect focus elsewhere. This is not avoidance. This is deprivation. Robert Greene called this the law of absence. What disappears gains value. Those who lose access to you feel the loss acutely. Effective affirmation. I control my attention. I reward only respect. Lesson 19. Authority is reinforced through environment. Power is not only behavior. It is context. Where you sit, when you speak, how you enter and exit. Machiavelli understood symbols shape perception faster than arguments. Arrive slightly late but prepared. Leave conversations before they fade. Speak last when possible. Environment does half the work for you. Effective affirmation. My environment reflects my authority. Lesson 20. Never confuse niceness with safety. This lesson destroys many intelligent people. Niceness does not protect you from tests. It invites them, because niceness signals tolerance. And tolerance invites exploration. Kindness can coexist with boundaries, but only when enforced. Machiavelli warned that those who seek to be loved without strength are eventually despised. Be civil. Be composed. But be unmistakably firm. Effective affirmation. I am composed, not compliant. Lesson 21. The final test comes when you rise. As your confidence grows, so will the tests. Success attracts curiosity. Visibility attracts challengers. Do not interpret this as failure. It is confirmation. Each test is a checkpoint. Each response upgrades your position. Those who retreat never face tests, because they were never considered threats. Effective affirmation. Tests confirm my ascent. Machiavelli's darkest lesson summarized. Machiavelli never taught people how to dominate others emotionally. He taught them how to master themselves so thoroughly that domination became unnecessary. When people test your weakness, you do not react emotionally, you do not over-explain, you do not seek validation, you observe, delay, and respond selectively. You maintain internal alignment. You let silence and consistency do the work. Power is not loud. Power is felt. Every interaction is a negotiation of boundaries. Every test is an invitation to reveal who you are. Those who panic lose position. Those who perform lose respect. Those who remain composed gain authority. This is Machiavelli's darkest lesson. Not how to crush others, but how to become uncrushable. If this message sharpened your awareness, like the video, if you want more dark psychological lessons rooted in history and human nature, subscribe. And in the comments, write, I control my response. Because the moment you master that, you are no longer easy to test.